Welcome back to another lovely, wholesome episode of Not for Broadcast. Today, we'll be figuring out what happened to Jeremy Donaldson. Everything happened. I've seen anything. I don't know what to do with him now. Okay?
Support in case of an emergency on a given day, and it sounds like everything is as good as it possibly could have in that situation, just in terms of all the medical professionals. And it's so important that you do have to everybody there to help somebody in that situation. It's also
It's very different than the person I watched do this previously. Again, I've never seen the end of this game, by the way. Keep that in mind. It's all a mystery to me. Like the last hour, maybe 2 hours, I don't know what happens. And the person I saw play this, Charlie hated her guts. And this one, he actually shows support. Oh boy. I don't get the appeal of drinking alcohol at a young ages. Is it just because you're not allowed to? Loading screens usually mean it's broadcast time. Oh boy.
Good evening, Alex.
This one.
It's Bozeman here. Hope all's well with the family. Just a heads up, we're expecting those troublemakers at Disrupt to attempt to hack the channel during the broadcast, so keep an eye on the interference screen and stay out of the orange. Let's keep the news on the air. It's important, now more than ever.
Swinging at some pensioners while they try and fashion a nutritious meal out of a can of condensed milk, a cow's tongue, and some rhubarb. Not one to
So,
miss.
Julia's team
Gotta
asked
have
me to ask you.
Crazy Neil.
Well, what does that mean?
Means to do that thing you do where you turn politicians into humans. Just don't get drawn into talking about the war. Politics in general. really.
They do know this is the news, don't they?
At
You didn't hear this from
8:30
me,
p.m., it's over
but-
to Patrick Bannon for all the day's sports board highlights, including all the tabletop action. from the
Apparently, there's a
semi-finals
crew at Team
Pro
HQ
Amateur
right now.
Sports Board, the
I think she's giving a
Sports
speech or
Board
something
Sports
tonight.
Game.
They'll get
At
on the late
9,
news.
it's our
Oh,
nightly
great.
news
So they get the
from
brains and we get the
News.
performing monkey.
Followed at 9:25 by our unsettling play,
Sometimes you sound just like him, you know.
which tells the cautionary tale
How
of
are
one
you?
brave young lady's battles to survive the cruel administrations of our neighbours.
It
At
is what it is.
11:25, it's Incisors.
It
And
is what it
tonight, Dr. Adrian Atkinson
I mean, Jeremy is dead then?
Fiona from Hamble Bambleby, who's
10
invented a
seconds,
tasty
everybody.
twist on the humble biscuit. And that takes us, after the weather and public information
Going in
film,
5,
into our close down.
4,
But first
3.
tonight, it's time to join Megan and the team for the National Night.
Good evening. This is the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolfe. It's the 140th day of war. Our main headlines tonight. Company of Heroes. Skirmishes on land and sea again today as our armed forces tested the mettle of the World Council's illegal blockade. Advance's strategy of multiple small-scale incursions into the disputed zone is certainly keeping the enemy on high alert, unable to work out where or when the next strike will come. Sadly, however, more casualties were reported today, and as the weeks and months of this war make ever more demands on our armed services, those numbers will, tragically, only continue to rise. Don't starve. Advance's food program moved from strength to strength
game.
today
There's
as
a game
rationing
called that.
depots were opened in the last remaining unfed areas of the territory. The rationing depots have been constructed in record time, and the government's agricultural coordination strategy has seen shelves restocked with increasing regularity. However, with the reported rise in mental and physical health issues since the imposition of the blockade, critics have questioned whether those smaller communities
I am
which
not
are
with
only
the
now
dance
starting to
at
receive
all.
help could have been better and quicker served. 7 days to die. The recent decision to allow those with long-term
These
health
are all
conditions
game
to
titles.
access transition centres has today been declared an overwhelming success. Previously available only to those in their final years, the expansion of the service has been met with relief by the many organisations calling for it to be opened up to the wider community. With dwindling medical supplies leaving many of our most vulnerable facing chronic pain, it can come as no surprise that the transition centres have found themselves stretched to capacity. Populace. More than 11% of the population have thus far failed to register for a team membership card, a worrying statistic given that the cards are a legal requirement from midnight tonight. While applications are still open for those who like to run fashionably late, they can expect a few tricky questions from Advance. Start me up. Disrupt spokesman Alan James held an impromptu rally today in the northern city of Mankipool. Large crowds gathered to hear the band speaker prove Disrupt are still able to capture the public's imagination. A representative from the Mankipool Community Cohesion Team described the event as mostly peaceful, but it looks like Disrupt aren't going quietly into the night. And finally tonight, our mutual friend. Bail was denied in the High Court today for shamed former National
is-
Nightly News anchor
he is still
Jeremy
alive.
Donaldson. The presenter will be transferred to new lodgings at Pension Ridge Prison, while the lengthy preparations for his trial, which is still 18 months away, begin. Since being taken into custody 10 weeks ago in this very studio, little has been heard from our former colleague. Despite how things ended, we wish him the best, and we'll be sure to bring you all the details of that court case every night. But
So
first
he
this
is-
evening, with the
yeah.
war about to enter its 21st punishing week, and people hurting up and down the country, I'll be grilling unpredictable Prime Minister Peter Clement in an exclusive interview from his home in Lancashire. That's coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
It's a much different theme than it was before.
In part 2 2, I'm a little overexcited to announce. I'll be interviewing the one and only Lil C. And later we've got a new feature that's sure to keep you coming back for more. But first tonight, let's check in with Prime Minister Peter Clement, who's speaking to us from his home in Lanfordshire. Good evening, Prime Minister. Have we caught you exercising?
Oh, have we started? Yes, that's right, Miss Wolf. Just a few minor adjustments. I mean, nothing drastic. I haven't joined the gym or anything. As my old mum used to say, just because she won't take it up the shit, it doesn't mean you shouldn't try for a quick fiddle up the car park.
Language, Prime Minister. Language, Prime Minister.
What? Quick fiddle? What's wrong? Oh, shitter. It's shitter, isn't it? Yep, that's the one.
And can you tell us what brought about this new you?
Well, you know, Mrs. C and I were watching, you know, the night the blockade began. When blockade began. Well, you know, and it was blistering hot, as I'm sure you all remember. And I were a bit wheezy from all the cigars and all that. And Mrs. C turns to me after the signal dropped away, and she was in floods of tears. And she says, Peter, she says, I couldn't go on without you. She said. So I made a decision.
Some of that disrupt propaganda out. Try not to do that, Alex. We're watching you.
Smoking cigars. Except for Christmas.
In the school cafeteria eating
My birthday.
because she is the only girl
Weddings.
in her class who isn't
State dinners. That's what I say. I got this useless running backwards, doesn't go anywhere. And apparently I'm going on a walking holiday this Christmas, and that should finish me off for bloody good.
I don't really know which one is worse, this one or this one.
Well, Mrs. C has never liked travelling at the best of times. These are certainly not the best of times. On that we can all agree. And there's a lot of red tape involved in leaving the territory at the moment, as I'm sure you're all aware. Some of those forms are bastard long.
All in it together.
What? All in it together. Oh, yeah. Also, it doesn't seem very advanced to be going abroad when the rest of the country is grounded.
And yet, Julia Salisbury announced today that she'll be visiting Svenland during this year's winter break. Is that really an example of team spirit?
What? Did you know about this, Gail? Did you know about this, Gail?
Jeremy Donaldson.
What did you know?
Well, leaving that for a moment, it says on this card that a body like yours must take some planning to achieve. What's your morning routine?
To be put on trial. And
Well,
for what?
I have
Waving a gun
frigid
around, he
morning
clearly had no intention of ever using.
Rigid for
That Jeremy Donaldson had
Oh,
is
yeah.
undeniable.
A rigid
but
and
rather
demanding
than law
plan that my
enforcement,
doctor and personal
medical
trainer
experts
Who's your
would want
personal
to call?
trainer?
Of course,
Ah,
that was never
some
going to happen.
prick called Clark. Is that on your card?
Had a very public
Prime
breakdown
Minister,
because
speaking
he
of
simply
planning,
couldn't
with
take
the
what
blockade in
advance
its
were doing
20th week
anymore.
and the people of this country
He knew
reeling
that the
from its
National
effects,
Nightly
what plans
News
do you have
was
to
being
get us out of this
transformed
mess?
from a bastion of truth into a frivolous chat
Well,
show.
that's a very blunt
And like a mother watching her
question.
child fall
Surely
under a
one
predator's
for which
spell,
you, the democratically
he couldn't
elected
stand
Prime
by
Minister,
and allow
must
that to
have an
happen.
answer.
He
Don't
chose
you
to
get
stand
smart
up
with
to
me,
advance,
Pat.
and they're
I was a
responsible to
fucking
be
national treasure before you were a twinkle in the
shamed,
milkman's
tried and
scrotum.
convicted.
You
They
want to
will
talk about
break him
plans?
as
Let
an
me tell
example
you
to
about
us all.
plans. That's all we do. Fucking
Today.
plans and revised plans and then meetings
Officer,
to discuss the
Okay.
implementation of plans and
Well,
plans and yet more
Prime
planning for fucking plans and yet more fucking plans.
Well, that's good. That's good to know, Prime
Do you
Minister.
know, I used to really like you, Pat. You were a breath of fresh air. But I've been watching you, and you know what? I've been watching you. You get more like him every day. You get more like him every day.
I will take that as a compliment. Prime Minister, later on this evening, your co-leader Julia Salisbury is going to give a national address from team headquarters. Can you give us a hint of what she's going to say?
Yes. Well, I imagine that there
Sorry,
will be
sorry, you
the
imagine?
usual.
Sorry, you
No,
imagine?
what I mean is.
You do know
what
about
I
this
mean-
broadcast,
what I mean
don't you,
is-
Prime Minister?
I'm sure I did. But Julia and I have no secrets from each other. We don't memorize each other's bloody diaries either. As my old mum used to say, if you wanted to get a job done quick, don't get bogged down in the pubes. What else you got?
Sorry?
Only cards, what else? A little piece of my life do you want to rustle through? Get out, refill my last. Get out, refill my last. Ah, come on. Come on.
Okay. What music do you listen to when you work out? What music do you listen to when you work out?
Well, Gail tells me that I work out to Little C, but I have absolutely no fucking idea who that is. And do you think the C stands for?
It stands for collaborative, Prime Minister. It stands for collaborative, Prime Minister. How's rationing affecting you?
It's hard, but we get by. You just have to learn to get by on the basics. Take comfort.
If they let this man have a 24-hour broadcast every day of his life, I feel like people would hate the Advance Party a lot more.
Except for a decent night's sleep. Of course.
Prime Minister, thank you for joining us. When we come back, it's time for the Culture Spot with Lil C and a world premiere performance of her new song. I genuinely can't wait.
Find out what politicist bitch is up to. And get me a bottle of something stronger. This fucking gold. This fucking gold.
I don't think he knew about her statement.
I don't think anyone's supposed to know. When you mentioned it, Rosaline's face turned a colour that I think you call embolism.
I'm in trouble.
Rosamund? Nah, you're like the daughter you never had. So that's not right anyway.
Who's Lil C? Who's Lil C?
You winding me up?
What? I'm civilised. I read books.
Christmas pineapple on a tree. Take 2 baubles, take 3. We don't care how many baubles. Take a candle. Set fire to your Christmas tree. Set fire to your life. If you're thinking Christmas is a way off and the blockade is getting you down, stock might be low, but the prices are lower. We've even had to get crazy creative, and we've got specials on.
You'll no doubt have spotted the updated mixing disc. You'll need the new buttons during the next sections. First, we'll need applause when the guest enters and before her song. Don't worry, I'll walk you through it when we get there.
We got crazy Christmas dancing hats. We got crazy Christmas dancing hats and jumpers. If you're feeling hungry, don't feel down in the mouth. You can have a dog on a log. And remember, a dog isn't for life. It's just for Christmas to eat. It's a crazy deal at Crazy Meals. We've got elves on trees. We've got trees on elves. If you want to know where the elf on the shelf is, we've got elves on elves. Bend over and ready for you to take home. We got naughty Christmas nativities with naughty Christmas figurines.
I've never heard of it before.
Christmas nut bums. We've got crazy Christmas big bums. It's the six Mrs. Crazy Neil used to say to me, bang, bang, bang. She had to go, but I still love Christmas. Christmas without her is not the same, but I don't care, because I'm insane. Come on down to Crazy Neil's for your Christmas needs. Watch not included.
This is a very weird part, by the way. Viewer discretion is advised.
Later, we have an exciting new feature that we just know you're going to love, so stay tuned for that. But first, I'm really excited for our next guest. She rose to prominence as the delightful Susie May in All My Daughter's Children's Men, before taking the music industry by storm this year with her debut album smashing the chart records at the age of just 20. Let's give it up and welcome Lil C!
Staff, excellent work.
I just say, you look incredible.
Oh, thanks, babe. I'm doing this new regime and it really does work.
What's the regime?
My manager suggested it to me. It basically involves bathing in like cabbage water and then having the leaves sucked out of you while you sleep.
Wow, is that healthy?
Oh, well, look at me, Meg. The leaves are my only nourishment.
Yep, they certainly are. Now, you'll have to forgive me, but I'm somewhat of a super fan, so I'm sorry if I get a bit starstruck.
Oh, bless you. I've never actually heard of you before, so if you do get a little tongue-tied, I can always carry the interview.
Oh, that's good to know. So your first album, F My Face Together, it hit shelves this summer and it just exploded. I mean, what was that like for you?
Bonkers, just so weird. I was in all the papers and the magazines. Overnight, I went from that like annoying little girl from that show to that like sexy little girl from that show.
Wow, that must have been bizarre.
Not really, it was just like any other morning. You know, get up at 5, go on a 4-mile run, have 3 meetings on my cabbage farm, and then only then was my dad actually talking to me.
Oh, of course, I mean the famed country singer, Billy Bob Jean Short. I didn't know he'd been estranged.
There's nothing that strange about it, Megan. Okay, yes, he may believe that aliens told him to hate women, but there really isn't anything to prove that he's wrong.
So, this newfound explosion into your popularity, I mean, did that change your life?
Well, I had to start wearing like nicer underwear, you know, for the paparazzi. But as my manager says, best to make the most of it before I'm 30.
Is that right? So what's the album about?
So I thought it was about like how pretty and great I am, but actually it's about monetizing youth, I think, or about like promoting an unrealistic standard of beauty or something.
Your manager again?
Yeah, he says insecurity is an opportunity.
Oh, do you think he'd be happy with you telling us all this?
Telling you all what? It really doesn't matter what I say here. I'll do my dancing and then this part will all be forgotten about.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, we're going to see some of those famous dance moves very shortly because you're going to be performing on your single, aren't you?
Yeah, it's from my album Put It In My A Together and it's out
So soon, after the last one?
Oh yeah, I've actually released 2 albums since lunchtime and a clothing line during this interview. See, this is called Cry for Help and it's going to be in all the best high street and retailer shops and it's out now. So girlies, you know what to do. Scream and cry until somebody gets it for you.
Ooh, there she goes. Blimey. All these projects, they're keeping you very busy, aren't they? It must be tough.
Yeah, it can get tough and I hate it sometimes and I hate myself. I just want to like cry.
I'm very glad that Alan James stepped in at this point. Very grateful of that.
We will hack into your news broadcasts. We will defend your right to information. We will
I do
resist,
think that sometimes. Most nights, between like my 4th vodka and the 8th time a stranger slaps me around the arse. I think things could have been different, you know, like better. But I don't know. I love doing autographs and having somebody dress me and tell me what to wear.
Did you always want to do music?
Well, ever since I was a little girl, I did. I'd sit in front of the radio, and as soon as my favourite girl group would come on, I pressed record on my cassette. But then my dad would come in and tell me to turn it off and to go back upstairs and start practicing again.
Sorry, is your dad your manager?
Yeah, which can be tough. And sometimes when it gets really hard, he'll say, "Make Cragler proud, and you might just survive childbirth."
Well, you know what? Despite anything, you'll make me proud.
Oh, if only your opinion was as valuable as his.
And on that problematic note, you're going to be singing your song for us soon, aren't you? Tell me about it.
So it's called These Babies Gonna Bring You Home, and I actually got sent the lyrics in the car on the way up here. You know what? It's actually right. And don't worry, all my work is team approved.
All right then. Well, you can go and get ready for that. We'll see you in a little bit. It was a very specific type of pleasure to chat to her, and I just can't wait to hear this. Oh, so here's Lil C with an exclusive first performance of her new track, These Babies Gonna Bring You Home. Take it away.
Is this deliberate, Alex? We do like our guests to come back, you know.
The queen of team, here to breaking your blockades. Lil C.
I'm just gonna turn my brain off for a bit right now and just try not to look at this.
Can't you see I'm hungry? There's a place in me that's empty. I want that meat you're packing. Only you can fill that crack in me. I'm under siege, so come and free me. Ain't no disruption here, boy, I got no agenda. Just want the team in me, no dirty foreign labor. Don't stop your morning drill, there's holes in me that ain't been filled yet. I only scream this loud when you do your country proud. I ain't no vicar's daughter, come and skirmish on my border. Quick before I get much older, tie me down and pour me like an enemy soldier. An enemy soldier. So let them try and break our dream. We fight and love and die at two. So what a Peter Clemens boys can come and use me as a toy. I wanna see some action, so come and break my sanctions.
There is no good camera. There isn't. There really isn't.
I've been this wild and free since Mama burdened me. She was only 53, but gave to save her family. There's no one judging me if I'm the one that's in your fantasy. Don't die alone, these babies gonna bring you home. I ain't no vicar's daughter, come and skirmish on my border. Quick before I get much older, tie me down and pour me like an enemy soldier. An enemy soldier. So what if Peter Clemens boys can come and use me as a toy and flip me over, grab my hair, rip off my clothes and dump them there? I wanna see some action, so come and break my sanctions.
Remember who this is a parody of, by the way. I'm pretty, like, almost positive this is a Miley Cyrus parody.
Well, if that doesn't distract you from the world outside, I don't know what will. I'd like to thank Lil C for doing that. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we'll finally be revealing the new segment of our show that we just know you're going to love. We'll be back right after this.
And we're out.
Can I just say, thank you so much for letting me do this. It really means a lot to me, you know.
Yeah.
To be able to promote myself on such a mainstream platform like the news.
Well, don't worry about it. And you know what? Good luck for the future. Take care of yourself. This industry can be crazy sometimes. Watch out for that father of yours.
Oh, no. I manage myself. It's just, you know, for the public to have that certain... Like...
Oh, right.
And Michael? Michael?
What about Billy Bob Jean Shorts?
Oh, my dad. Such a sweetheart. We both have the same agents, you know, like it just made sense. Both of us saw our image together. And Michael, I want to see the revenue share for the clothing line and get me a G&T before my meeting with the lube guys. They say for your pleasure. I'm gonna stop using it.
I hope you've got your head around these sound effects, Alex, because you'll need all 4 buttons for the next section. Each time they light up, listen to the actors and try and pick the most appropriate effect. The actors can't hear your choices, so let's not upset them when they watch it back later.
Do I look like the sort of person who counts things? No, not anymore. I'm better than that now. I'll tell you what, just keep adding flowers until it feels like 12. Got it?
Absolutely, right away. 10 seconds.
The cruise now mainly takes place around Suffolk.
5, 4, 3.
Thanks for joining us for part 3. We've been teasing you about our new feature all night, and now the wait is finally over. I can reveal that every night on the show, we'll be treated to an episode of an informative and hilarious new segment called The Notice Board. It stars some top talent, and we're very excited about it. But before we see it, let's have a quick chat with the writer, director, and phenomenon, may I say, Jeff Algebra, guys.
Actually, I've dropped the algebra. I go by Jeff DePloon now. How'd you like that?
Yeah, very fancy. I suppose you need
Well,
a new
Jeff
name now
looks
that you're
very
a
different
successful
now.
artiste.
Well, exactly. I'm earning enough to pay taxes now.
Oh.
It should.
Oh, wow.
And how does Angela feel about all this? Your wife. Your wife.
Oh, God, no. No, she's long gone. No, she was holding me back. I'm with Norm now. We were married last month.
Norm
Oh,
de
how
Bloom.
progressive.
Yeah.
Norm de Bloom. And why did you write this? What was your inspiration?
Oh, well, I received a telephone call offering me 25 grand to write a pro-team sitcom. And I heard my father's voice. It said, Jeff, you listen here, boy. You make hay while the sun shines. You wring every penny you can get out of this. So I wheeled him down to the transition centre, got out my typewriter and started clacking. Utter shite.
And without further ado, let's give it up for the notice board.
You have to play a sound effect, Alex.
God dang it. Never fast enough.
Alex, if you keep this up, you'll ruin the notice board, and the actors won't be happy.
Good morning, Miss Craven.
Oh, morning, Ray.
Everything all right, Mrs. Craven? You look as worried as the vicar in closing time.
Oh, Ray, it's those young
Oh, that's
fellas.
definitely wrong.
They vandalised my shop again.
No!
Yes! They've written all sorts of obscene language and crude pictures, and I know it's those damn youths.
I don't know. It could be the vicar at closing time.
God dang it.
I'm just
I keep
worried
missing it.
They won't ever become productive members of the community. What if they never see the error of their ways and end up as social outcasts, such as shoplifters or bong rats?
Don't worry, Mrs. Craven. This is a very supportive community, and I'm sure that in time they will fit into this society like this key into this lock.
God, I keep missing it.
See? Works like a charm.
God dang it.
It's a lovely way to put it,
I think
Ray.
I think
And
like as
just
slow
like
as
that, we can
the ice cap's
unlock
melting.
their future.
Yes, yes. Wow! Look at all the letters in my collection today.
Wrong sound effect.
I think that one's addressed to me.
What? This one? Oh, so you're right. Here it is.
Oh, it's a letter from my granddaughter, Brenda. She says she got an A on her maths exam because one of her friends has been helping her. She was always a team player, was our Brenda.
What's up, losers? What's up, losers?
Oh, no. It's Brad. He's the coolest guy in the village.
That's right. I just got here on my motorbike.
Oh, clear off, Brad. We don't want any of your ilk around here.
What? Rad dudes?
No, ruffians. Have you come to tag the notice board with your gang signs?
No way. I've actually come to pin my resume on that notice board. I'm looking to do some tutoring after school.
What? Did you say tutoring?
That's right. Maths is very important. Would you mind, Greg?
Not at all. Not at all.
Sometimes I just don't know.
So you, a young person, have been spending your time helping others and not just urinating on churches or huffing glue?
Hey, I haven't huffed glue for months.
Well, blow me down!
You know what? We misjudged you based on how young and cool you are and not on your actions.
No joy.
So it wasn't you who vandalised my shop last night or called me a rancid old crone from the back of a chopper?
No way. It can't have been me. I was too busy helping my friend Brenda with her maths homework.
Could you speak up there? I thought for a minute there that you
I'm
said
just gonna pick one and
Brenda.
keep choosing it.
I did, you daft old sow.
Did you hear that, Ray?
Oh, yes, what a wonderful surprise. I now respect
Just gotta
you
pick the
as a
laughing one.
man.
Put her there, Ray. Oh, what the heck? Give us a hug.
Oh boy.
Sorry to interrupt the first groundbreaking episode of the notice board, but we are receiving some breaking news. I'm being told we are picking up reports from across the continent of what appear to be nuclear explosions in 4 major foreign cities. Initial estimates put the death toll into. They put them into millions. I'm being told we're experiencing some power shortages as a result, so apologies for the interruption. And apparently we can go live now to team headquarters for an emergency broadcast from Prime Minister Julia Salisbury any moment. Yes, let's go to that now.
Good evening, citizens and leaders of the world. Minutes ago, operatives working for Advance detonated nuclear explosives simultaneously in 4 major cities across the continent. We have similar devices in 58 other urban centres and will not hesitate to detonate them.
We are hearing stories of power fluctuations and what could be minor earthquakes throughout the
Our territory will no longer tolerate your illegal and genocidal blockade. You are to remove it immediately.
We've lost contact with our benefactors.
We will accept nothing less than your unconditional surrender.
Resetting.
Your territories will be taken under our control. We will install replacement governments to ensure that your citizens become part of the new future.
Can we get this verified? I need this verified.
Are now our borders. Your people are our people.
I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know if you are receiving this, but if you are, then you have to know. You have to know what's being done, what's being done right now to our neighbours. This is unprecedented. Our government has committed multiple acts of mass destruction in our name.
A single shot at our territory, or harm a single one of our citizens,
Nor do
we
I care
will not
how
hesitate
you
to
voted.
detonate
You didn't vote
further
for this.
devices.
None of us did.
You will not find them. Though no doubt you are
be.
already searching for them.
We are waiting
Our
further
technology is
news
decades
and
ahead of yours.
What if they respond?
We will expect your complete acceptance of our terms by midnight tonight. Thank you. Thank you.
I don't really talk about my personal life in my job. It's not relevant or important. So many of you may be surprised to learn that I have a brother. His name is David. And right now I can't get his stupid face out of my head. He's a researcher and he's currently travelling the continent for work. And I don't know where he is right now. And I should imagine that there are many of you sitting at home tonight digesting this news, and you also have loved ones on the continent. In Urkistan, or Havia, or San Palmerino, or Kronislava, which is where David was when I last spoke to him 3 days ago. So when I tell you I know how you are feeling tonight, believe me, I do. But I also know that there's There's a flow to events. I see it every day here. I know that although tonight it feels like we may be in a time of fear and darkness, we may actually be at the break of a new dawn. We don't know that yet. We can't know that yet, but together we will find out. And I will be here every night, feeling what you are feeling. And with your help, maybe we can all get to that brave new world.
Oh boy.
My name's Megan Wolf. Let's make tomorrow better.
And we're out. We've got people ringing around, but the telephone networks are overloaded. We'll find him.
More than an all-night yacht party to stop me from doing my job. Times are tough for you guys, huh? Sanctions suck, borders are blockade, lost touch with the simple joy of consuming new and wonderfully unnecessary products. Well, look no further, you poor huddled masses. You need the Sophia Remington swag box from me, Sophia Remington. Remington's best, Remington's best.
Cool, blimey, Jazza. The old Market Square's looking a bit Somerset Bentley. Empty today.
I know, Bazza. I never thought I'd 5 a day say this, but I don't dog on a bike like shopping anymore. All the fun's gone.
I remember when there was all sorts of grandma's feet. Me here, I'd take it home for the old wasted life. Wife, the boil.
I just wish I could put some unlicensed gun fun back into being Grandpa's bloomers, consumers.
Don't worry, you poor dirty cockneys. Here's a little something to lift your barely literate spirits. This is a Sophia Remington swag box, and you never know what's in it until you break the seal and open it. Here. Who knows what you'll get? A piece of exotic fish, a rare weapon modifier, or even a handy set of 6 flards. And if you're not happy and you haven't broken the seal, you can even get a full no-quibble refund for just $50.99. It's fun, it's free, and it can't be gambling, otherwise we couldn't advertise it on television. I'm Sophia Remington, and I want you to have as much fun as I have, but you can't afford to. So here's the swag box instead.
They could have waited till the fun wore off before they did the ad. Well, that was it for this lovely episode of Not for Broadcast. Goodbye. Please come back.